The world is getting hotter. Great, right? Who wouldn't want summer all year round? Well, no, actually, climate change is a bit of a problem, and today we're going to think about ways to solve it. The weather changes all the time. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes the sun shines, and sometimes it rains. But the climate is more than just the weather. It's the kind of weather we expect in one place at different times of year. So in Scotland, it's cold in winter and pretty mild in the summer. In the Sahara Desert, it's very hot all year round. That's the climate. But the climate is changing, and that is causing problems. We all know that ice melts when it's hot. Well, there's a lot of ice in the world. Think of the Arctic or the Antarctic.
Now see the effect. If I put ice cubes in this box of water and they melt, the water doesn't rise. That's because the amount of water is the same. The solid water, or ice, just turns to liquid. So no problem, right? But lots of the Earth's ice isn't already in the sea. It's on land. And watch what happens to the water level here when the ice on the land, represented by this sieve, melts. The water from the ice runs into the sea and the sea level rises.
So as the ice melts, the level of the sea rises, and that causes all sorts of problems, especially for those who live near the coast. They're going to get flooded. But climate change causes all sorts of other problems. It makes it more difficult to grow food, for example. So what causes climate change? If we're going to solve the problem, we need to know.
We burn fuels like coal and oil to produce electricity, to cook with, to make things, to heat our homes, or to move around. This gives off a gas called carbon dioxide, which rises into the Earth's atmosphere and traps heat inside. It's like a greenhouse, and that's why it's called the greenhouse effect. So we need to burn less fuel. But how can we do this? One way is to use less energy. These are LEDs and they were designed to provide light. Now they last longer than traditional light bulbs, but crucially they also use less energy. As you can see here, it takes a lot of energy to light up a traditional light bulb. But I don't have to turn the handle as hard to light up an LED, and that's because it takes less energy to light them.
So there are ways to save energy by designing and using things that use less of it, like LED lights. Another way is to create energy by not burning fuels. We create electricity, for example, by making turbines turn, and we do this usually by burning coal or oil or maybe gas. Well, what if we can find another way to turn those turbines?
There's wind energy, where the wind turns the turbine. Or hydroelectric energy, when water falling from a dam turns the turbine.
So my challenge to you today is to find a different way to turn a turbine. How could you make electricity? Make your own little windmill and find different ways to make it turn. And what about little things around the home that we could use to create electricity?
Could we put turbines above our kettles and pans so the steam can turn the turbines and make electricity? Maybe not. Well, what about under our taps so that we make electricity every time we turn the water on?
Send me your best ideas for making electricity. You can send them to museumlearning at st-andrews.ac.uk. To help us understand the importance of solving climate change, I asked some experts at the University of St Andrews why it's such a big problem.
One of the reasons that global warming is such a big problem is that it can cause large amounts of ice, like at the North and South Pole, to melt. This meltwater then goes into the sea and can cause sea levels to rise. This is a particularly big problem for lots of people all over the world who live in low-lying, flat areas near the coast, because those areas are more likely to flood in the future.
Now, a few weeks ago, I asked you to send us some poems about a polar bear, and we've received a great one from Catherine, aged 5.
What am I? I am big, and I have to dig. I have lots of fur, but I don't purr. I have claws at the end of my paws. You might see me up a tree. What do you think I could be? I live where there's snow and ice. Some people think I'm not very nice, but I don't care. I am a polar bear.
Well done, Catherine. That was excellent. You can send me your ideas, photos, videos or drawings of ways to make electricity without burning fuel to museumlearning@st-andrews.ac.uk, and I'll show some of them on a future episode of Wardlaw Workshops. In the meantime, bye bye.